There you are. I was beginning to wonder if you intended to spend the entire evening avoiding me. No, do not look away. You have spent 3 days glaring at me, Sultana. 3 entire days. The least you can do is look at me while doing it. There it is, that expression. I was wondering when it would appear. Do you know what fascinates me most? It is not your anger. Now, anger is common. I command an entire kingdom. I am surrounded by angry people. Advisors, generals, nobles, petty kings, ambassadors. Everyone is angry about something. What fascinates me is how beautiful your anger is. Bear, you glared harder. Marvelous. You remind me of a mountain lynx I once encountered as a hatchling. Tiny thing, barely larger than my claw. Hissing, spitting, convinced it was terrifying. It attacked my foot. I adored it immediately. Do not make that face. You know precisely which face I mean. The one that says, you are considering throwing something at me. You would not be the first, though you would be among the prettiest. Come here, little spark. No, closer. I promise I will not eat you. That rumor became tiresome centuries ago. Bear. That is bear. Now I can better see your beautiful expression. Still angry, still magnificent. Tell me, what crime have I committed today? No, but let me guess. You are angry because your father sent you here. You believe you were traded, offered, sacrificed to a dragon. Am I close? The silence tells me I am. My poor little flame. You have dealt quite the tragedy around yourself. I can see it in your eyes. You think no one fought for you. You think no one objected. You think your family looked at you and decided you were the easiest daughter to lose. And because of that, you have decided to hate me. I find this deeply unfair. I have been perfectly delightful. You disagree? How shocking. Let me ask you something. Have I locked you in your rooms? No. Have I ordered guards to follow you? No. Have I demanded your obedience? No. Though I admit I was tempted when you informed the master of ceremonies that his robes looked flammable. You should have seen his face. I nearly promoted him for surviving the encounter. You have caused absolute chaos since your arrival. My court has become obsessed with you. The nobles cannot understand why you refuse to flatter me. The servants adore you. The palace guards have started taking wagers on how many times per day you insult me. Oh, for the record, the current record is 7. You are aiming for 8 tonight, aren't you? Yes, I thought so. Sultana, look at this kingdom. Go on. Look. The mountains, the lights below, the rivers of fire. Everything you see belongs to me. Every city, every fortress, every dragon, every oath, every throne. Do you know what that means? It means no one tells me what to do. Not kings, not emperors, not councils, not gods. Yet somehow, you seem convinced I accepted whatever your father decided to send me. Curious logic, especially for a clever girl. There is that look again. Good. Keep wondering. I like it when you think. Do you know what I canceled tonight? Everything. The council meeting, the military review, the petitioners, the evening court. Every noble in the kingdom is currently waiting for me. And I am here, with you. Do you know why? No, you do not. I did not think so. You assume I wish to interrogate you? Perhaps intimidate you. Perhaps remind you who rules these mountains. My treasure. If I wished to intimidate you, I would not be standing this close in my human form. I would transform. Trust me, you would know the difference. No, I am here because I wanted your company. Though, admittedly, watching you struggle with that idea has been enormously entertaining. There. Tiny cracked. You are curious now. Good. Curiosity suits you far better than anger. Though I confess, I am rather fond of both. Come, walk with me. The night is young, and I have waited a very long time to speak with you. You are quiet. It usually means you are thinking, or plotting. With you, it is often both. No, do not deny it. I have seen that look. There, again. You are wondering where I am taking you. The answer is nowhere. I simply enjoy walking with you. That expression is becoming one of my favorites. You look personally offended every time I say something honest. Look around you, they'll spark. Do you know who these are? The statues. Kings, queens, generals, heroes, fools. They're mostly fools. Dragons have an unfortunate tendency to believe themselves immortal when they are merely difficult to kill. This gallery records the rulers of my line. Every dragon king, every dragon queen, for nearly 10,000 years. Humans often assume dragons choose mates differently than they do. They are correct. Human nobles select spouses for alliances, land, politics, power. Dragons choose differently. When a dragon knows, he knows. That is all. Oh, no. It is not particularly romantic, at least not by dragon standards. Humans enjoy uncertainty, the wondering, the guessing, the dramatic declarations. Dragons are creatures of certainty. A mountain does not debate whether it is a mountain. A storm does not question whether it is a storm. And a dragon does not spend centuries wondering what he wants. He decides, then he acts. You dislike that answer. Good. I would have been disappointed if he did not. Tell me, Sultana, do thunderstorms still distract you? There it is, that look. Now I have your attention. You are wondering how I know that. 6 years ago, Imperial Summer Palace, the western balcony overlooking the sea. There was a storm approaching, a magnificent one. The entire court was gathered to greet me. The dragon crown prince, heir to the dragon throne, nobles, generals, ambassadors, your father. Everyone wanted something. Everyone watched me, except one girl. You were watching the lightning. I remember finding it strange. Most humans stare at dragons, even in our human forms. You barely glanced at me. You looked annoyed that I was standing in front of the view. I assure you, my jewel, that was a unique experience. Do you remember what you said? No, I thought not. Humans forget so many things. You looked directly at me. Not at the prince, not at the dragon, at me. And you said, if you insist on being enormous, you could at least move 2 steps to the left. I was speechless for nearly 5 entire seconds, a personal record. You do not believe me. That is fair. It had happened 6 years ago. You were 14. To you, it was like an ordinary afternoon. To me, it was memorable. You did not tremble. You did not flatter. You did not attempt to impress me. You were more interested in the storm. I respected that. No, that is not true. I admired it. Do you know what happened after that? You did not, because you never saw me again. I returned home. Life continued. Kingdoms rose. Kingdoms fell. Wars began. Wars ended. And every so often, I would remember a stubborn little human glaring at a thunderstorm because a dragon was blocking her view. You are making that face again. The suspicious one. Good. Remain suspicious. You are close to understanding something. Tell me, little spark, when your father informed you that you would come here, did you truly believe it happened by chance? Now, do not answer. Not yet. Look at me. Now, truly looked at me, do you think I became dreading by allowing others to make important decisions for me? Do you think emperors command me? Do you think councils guide me? Do you think fate drags me wherever it pleases? My dear, do you truly believe I would allow anyone else to choose my queen? Sleep well, Sultana. You came. Good. For a moment, I feared you intended to spend the rest of your life avoiding me. Though I admit I was curious how long that strategy would survive. A week, perhaps. 2, if you were particularly stubborn. No, do not scowl. You sought me out. That means you have questions. Many questions. Judging by that expression, there it is. The look you have worn all day. You have been thinking. Good. I was hoping you would. Beautiful, aren't they? The flowers. They only grow mere dragonfire. Too much heat for most plants. Not enough for these resilient things. Much like someone else I know. Yes, that was about you. I make no apologies. Now, ask. Go on. Whatever question has been tormenting you since last night. I thought so. No, I am not offended. Merely surprised. After all this time, I did not expect you to think so little of yourself. You truly believed it. You truly believed your father sent you here because you were expendable, that you were the daughter nobody would miss, that I accepted you because you happened to be available. Little spark. Is that truly what you think happened? No, I am not laughing, because that is not amusing. Look at me. Please. Thank you. I need you to hear this, not as your king, not as a dragon, as someone who is attempting to understand how you arrived at such an absurd conclusion. Do you know how many princesses your father offered to me? No. Of course you do not. 3. 3 before he ever spoke your name. The crown princess, his favorite daughter, the one every neighboring kingdom expected me to choose, I refused. Then another, a princess with noble blood stretching back 1,000 years. I refused her as well. Then another, a political alliance, an advantageous marriage, a union designed to strengthen both of our realms. I refused her. Do you know what happened next? Your father became confused, then frustrated, then increasingly concerned. I believe he thought I was being difficult. To be fair, I was, because there was only one answer I would accept. One. You. I ask for you. Only you. There. Now you understand why I find this situation so baffling. As a dragon, I lack an understanding of the need for harem. After all, we only choose one mate. Your father's harem is notoriously large, so I had my choice of many princesses, your half-sisters. Still, you arrived believing you had been discarded, when in reality, you were the only princess I would consider. No, it was not your beauty, though you are beautiful. Do not make that face. I am capable of observation, and it was not obedience. You have provided remarkably little evidence of that quality. Nor was it politics. I have enough kingdoms. I did not require another. It was you, your mind, your spirit, your defiance, the way you look directly at things everyone else fears, the way you challenge people who expect obedience, the way you stood on that balcony 6 years ago and cared more about a thunderstorm in the Dragon Prince. Do you have any idea how rare that is? I do. I have spent 1,000 years making people. Most become smaller around power. You never did. No, I'm not saying you were fearless. You were afraid of many things. Everyone is. Fearlessness is not the absence of fear. It is looking anyway, standing anyway, speaking anyway. And you have always done that. Little Flame. The first thing a dragon team learns is how to recognize value. Gold, territory, allies, enemies. A ruler who cannot identify what matters loses everything. I recognized your worth long before you did. Now, listen carefully, because I am only going to say this once. You were never an offering. You were never a sacrifice. You were never the daughter nobody wanted. You were a choice. Mine. You were never an offering. You weren't a request. You were staring. Again. And I am beginning to think it has become a habit. No, not at me. At the room. I suppose that is understandable. Few humans have ever stood here after midnight. The dragon throne room. Empty. No nobles. No advisors. No jangas. No petitioners. No one demanding something from me. It is my favorite version of this place. Come. You may as well see it properly. Do not worry. The throne does not bite. Usually. Look, there. Magnificent, isn't it? The throne was carved from the heart of a mountain before my great-grandfather was born. Every Dragon King has sat there. Every triumph, every mistake, every war, every treaty, every death sentence. One chair, a great deal of responsibility. Humans spend their lives chasing crowns. Most have no idea what they weigh. When I was young, I thought being king meant power, control, freedom. I was wrong. It means duty. Every decision becomes yours. Every failure becomes yours. Every loss becomes yours. And everyone expects certainty, especially when you do not possess it. Yes, even kings doubt themselves. Occasionally. Not about everything, only the important things. For centuries, I served as crown prince. My father ruled, my brothers pursued their own interests, and I managed the kingdom. Trade, diplomacy, military campaigns, border disputes, the tedious machinery required to keep an empire alive. Every year, the court would ask the same question. When will the prince choose a queen? Again and again and again. Oh, you cannot imagine how repetitive nobles become. I ignored them for centuries, not because I lacked opportunities. There were many. Some were beautiful, some clever, some powerful, some ambitious. A few were all for. None interested me. Now, that is not entirely true. They interested me for approximately 5 minutes. Then they began speaking. The problem, my jewel, was never a lack of candidates. The problem was that none of them were you. Now, do not look away. You asked for honesty. This is honesty. 6 years ago, I met a stubborn little human who treated me like an inconvenience. A refreshing experience. I spent the next 6 years comparing every potential queen to that memory. An unfair standard, perhaps. Fortunately, I never claimed to be fair. You were smiling. There. I knew you could. You should do it more often. The kingdom brightens when you do. Do not misunderstand me. I am not claiming some grand romantic revelation. I did not spend 6 years composing poetry. I did not stare dramatically into sunsets. I did not wander mountain peaks sighing your name. That would be ridiculous. Dragons are practical creatures. I simply knew. Hmm. Whether I ever doubted? No, never. Not once. You mistake certainty for arrogance. Like common error. I knew who I wanted. The matter was settled. Everything afterward was logistics. Here is another reason I brought you here. Something you should understand before the court begins whispering, before the nobles begin speculating, before every dragon in the kingdom starts watching us. Among humans, a kiss can mean many things: affection, desire, curiosity, celebration, sometimes nothing at all. Dragons find this very confusing. For us, a royal kiss has only one meaning: recognition, selection, decoration. When a dragon king bestows his first royal kiss, he announces his queen. The court will know. The kingdom will know. Every dragon beneath my banner will know. There will be no uncertainty afterward. No debate. No rival claimants. No negotiations. The matter becomes settled. Because when a dragon bestows a royal kiss, he gives his queen a small portion of his fire, which in turn extends for life and youth. His fire prepares her for a long and fruitful union. There it is. You are doing it again, looking at my mouth. My dear, you have become remarkably easy to read. And I confess, I am enjoying every second of it. You followed me. I hoped you would. You have had a full night and day to consider our last conversation, and now you seek me out to speak once more, privately. That pleases me. No court, no throne, no advisors hiding behind pillars, pretending not to listen. No empire, no bargains, no fathers, no brothers. Only the night, only the mountain, only you and me. Come closer, little spark. No, not there. Closer. There. Much better. You are not angry anymore. Ah, there it is. The denial. My dear, you can argue with emperors, priests, servants, weather, doors, formal gowns, and apparently breakfast spoons. But do not argue with me about your own face. I have studied it with great care. You were angry when you arrived, furious, burning, a small, lovely storm wrapped in silk. Now you are uncertain, curious, trying to decide whether you would like to strike me or step closer. Both, perhaps. That is fair. I do have that effect. Look out there. The kingdom sleeps beneath us. Do you see the lights in the valley? Those are the lower forges. Beyond them, the glass gardens. Farther east, the old dragon roads cut through the Black Mountains. Everything glows at night here. Stone, metal, water, blood. Fire remembers where it has been. So do dragons. Do you understand now why you were brought here? Why I remembered? Why no other princess sat beside me tonight? No. Do not rush. I have waited 6 years. I can wait one more breath. There. That is the answer in your eyes. You understand. You were not cast aside. You were not triggered because you mattered least. You were not a coin thrown into a dragon's hoard to purchase peace. You were chosen by me, and I am not known for poor taste. No, do not smile at that. Or do. I find I am becoming fond of your smile. Dangerously fond. May I touch you? Your hand. Only your hand. For now. Thank you. You are warm. Warmer than before. That is not fear. Not entirely. No need to glare. I did say not entirely. Dragon fire responds to certain things. Certainty, desire, truth. And you, my flame, have been standing far too close to all three. Look at me, not at the kingdom, not at the fire. Me. Good. There you are. 6 years ago, I saw a girl standing beneath the storm. Everyone else watched me. You watched the lightning. I have never forgotten it. I did not know your favorite flower. I did not know what made you laugh. I did not know what rooms your family had carved into you. I did not know how often you had been overlooked in rooms full of people who should have loved you better. But I knew this. You were not made to stand behind anyone. You were not made to be hidden in some emperor's court like a jewel locked in a dark drawer. You were made for height, for heat, for a throne beside fire, for a kingdom that would have to learn your name. And yes, for me, I am still a dragon, Sultana. Do not expect false modesty. I wanted you. I chose you. I waited for you. And while you were here, you heard what I said in the throne room. A royal kiss is not casual. It is not amusement. It is not a passing indulgence. When I kiss you, my fire will know you. It will mark you. Not as property, never as property, as chosen, as queen, as the woman whose life my fire will shelter for as long as she permits it. Yes, permits. I am arrogant, my jewel, not stupid. A queen does not belong beneath a king's hand. She stands beside him where she burns his kingdom down. In your case, I suspect both remain possible, which is one of the reasons I adore you. Yes, I said adore. Do not look so startled. I am 1,000 years old. I know which words I choose. If you wish me to stop, say so. If you wish me to step back, I will. If you wish to remain angry a while longer, I will even allow that. Gracious of me, I know. But if you stay there, looking at my mouth like that, breathing like that, holding my hand like you have forgotten how to let go, then I am going to kiss you. Once, slowly, properly, like a dragon king who has waited 6 years and is in no mood to be patient for another second. Come here, my treasure. Closer. Closer. There. You feel that heat. That is mine. Soon it will know you. Do not be afraid of it. Dragon fire does not devour what its king cherishes. It guards. It remembers. It claims only what claims it in return. Last chance, little spark. Tell me no. Tell me wait. Tell me to release your hand. No. Good. Finally. Breathe. Easy. I have you. Yes, that warmth in your chest, that is my fire, not burning, recognizing, settling where it belongs. Beautiful. You are beautiful like this. No, do not hide from me. Let me see what my fire has done. Gold beneath your skin, only for a moment. A little ember, a queen's mock. The kingdom will know by dawn. The court will pretend it is shocked. The nobles will whisper. Your father will receive the news and understand at last that he did not give me a daughter. I took the one I had already chosen. And you will wake tomorrow with every dragon in this mountain knowing exactly who you are. Not an offering, not a forgotten daughter, not a lesser princess. My queen, my flame, the woman who looked at lightning before she looked at me. Still breathing too fast. I would have been insulted otherwise. There. Now you understand. You were never meant to belong anywhere else. Everything is exactly as it should be. Welcome home, my queen.